Hey, this is Cassie, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So now, former unified Mexican heavyweight world champion, Andy the Destroyer Ruiz, came into this fight and claiming that he was out of shape, he didn't train properly, and he was celebrating too much. Andy Ruiz had something in common with one James Buster Douglas. Andy Ruiz came in this fight 15 pounds over the weight he won and shocked the world in. He came in at 268 in the first fight. He came in at 284, 283 the second fight, right? James Buster Douglas came in 15 pounds heavier. Now, he didn't rematch Mike Tyson, but he fought Evander Holyfield immediately after Mike Tyson, and he came 15 pounds heavier than he was when he fought Mike Tyson. Ironic, huh? The two biggest upsets in the sport of boxing history, two of the biggest upsets in the sport of boxing history in recent memory, right, have something very eerie in common. Like I stated, Buster Douglas came into his fight with Mike Tyson 15 pounds less than he did when he fought Evander Holyfield. He fought Mike Tyson in February of 1990, and he fought Evander Holyfield in October of 1990, right? And he came in 15 pounds heavier. This is the same situation scenario. James Buster Douglas looked very out of shape. He looked very distracted. He looked like he was celebrating. He looked like the moment got to him. You know, all the interviews, all the new money, all the new excitement, all the new cars, all the new houses, all these new attractions that came along with creating the biggest upset in boxing history, defeating Mike Tyson. And Andy Ruiz seemed to have the same problem as he came into the biggest upset in recent memory when he defeated a 20-1 overdog, because he was the underdog. 20-1 favorite, Anthony Joshua, who was unified undefeated British heavyweight world champion. And he upset the world at the most famous arena in the world, at Madison Square Garden in New York, New York. And coming into the second fight, Andy Ruiz promised the world that he captured those belts and he didn't want to relinquish them. He liked the new lifestyle and he wanted to keep it. You know, it wasn't a shock that he defeated Anthony Joshua. It was just a shock to the boxing world who weren't familiar with him. This is what Andy Ruiz told us. And Andy Ruiz is a great guy outside of the ring. Inside of the ring, he's not disciplined. In the sport of boxing, he's not disciplined. He's not committed. In between fights, it's been reported that he disappears. You know, he balloons up in weight. So there's reports coming out that his trainer, Manny Robles, said that he even got close to 250 pounds at one point in his training camp. Seemed to be taking it serious. Then they said that Andy Ruiz complained that he wasn't responding, that weight wasn't responding well for him, right? He was feeling sluggish. So they decided, listen, we'll go back up to the weight you feel comfortable, around between 260 and 270, right? He came in the first fight 268. So I would give him a 10-pound swing, right? And so he then came into the ring at 283.7 pounds, nearly 284 pounds. And he said that it was due to the, you know, the weigh-in being moved, the times, not being familiar with the times with the weigh-ins, eating multiple times before the weigh-in, getting on the scale fully dressed with stuff in his pockets and his sombrero on. This is what he highlighted as the reason why he came in so heavy. And when just before the fight in his locker room, he stated that he got on his own personal scale the morning before the weigh-in, the actual weigh-in that we saw, at 11 o'clock in the morning, and he said he got on the scale and he was 268 pounds. So he said that he felt like he was on target. So between the morning, 11 a.m., until the time he got on the scales in the evening to us here in New York and gave us the official numbers, he was 283.7. So he's saying that from that time to that time, he gained 15 pounds. I mean, this just highlights the lack of discipline, the lack of focus for Andy Ruiz. And like I stated, and I said this numerous of times over, the first fight wasn't the biggest win in Andy Ruiz's career. That wasn't the biggest fight in Andy Ruiz's career, because he had the element of surprise. This time, he did not have the element of surprise going into the rematch. So I highlighted the second fight, the rematch, as the biggest fight in Andy Ruiz Jr.'s career, in his life, because this is the moment he gets to make the statement. He meant to be here. He gets to let the boxing world and the world know that he was meant to be on this stage. He was meant to be the world champion. It wasn't a fluke. It wasn't an accident that he defeated Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua just didn't have an off night. He didn't just catch lightning in a bottle one night. But in fact, he meant to be there. He was meant to make a statement. It was a purpose. And he failed. And he let the people down. And it was abundantly clear that he did not take the rematch serious. He thought that Anthony Joshua could not make the adjustments. He underestimated Anthony Joshua. That's what Andy Ruiz did. He underestimated Anthony Joshua's ability, Anthony Joshua's will, Anthony Joshua's want to be great. He underestimated that. He didn't think that Anthony Joshua would make the necessary adjustments to defeat him. He didn't think that Anthony Joshua could move around the ring for 12 rounds. He didn't think that Anthony Joshua would have been mentally focused, would have been disciplined in the ring. He didn't think that Anthony Joshua would not get into exchanges with him early and often. He didn't think that Anthony Joshua learned his lesson and learned how to tie him up on the inside. He underestimated Anthony Joshua drastically. And thus the reason why he's saying if he gets an opportunity in the third fight, he will train hard. He went as far as to say he trained himself again. Which is discrediting your trainer and dismissing your trainer. And the only person Andy Ruiz has to blame is the look in the mirror, is the person in the mirror. Because he let the moment and the excitement and the newfound fame get to him and sway him and get him off his square, get him off his journey. That's what he did. The same thing that James Buster Douglas did in October 1990 when he went into the fight with Evander Holyfield. That is the same thing that James Buster Douglas did, is the same thing that Andy Ruiz did. And they never, and James Buster Douglas never regained his fame. He never did. He went on to fight 8 more times. Now he was successful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He fought 9 times and he was successful. He went 8-1 in those 9 times, right? But he was never perceived the same way and thought of as the same way as the man who defeated Mike Tyson. He was never seen that way ever again. Never again. He was seen as a fluke. And so now Andy Ruiz is telling the world that he's going to correct his wrongs. He's going to be even better going back in. And nobody's going to believe him, is the sad part. Nobody's going to believe him. And the opportunity and the chance for him to get a heavyweight title match again is slim to none at this point. It's slim to none. And if it does happen, it's going to be far down the road. Far down the road. And it's disheartening for a guy who has a big heart and is a great guy like Andy Ruiz to not have committed himself to this rematch to prove the world that he belonged. Point blank and period. Now he's looked at as James Buster Douglas all over again. But that's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV. All one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Blue Blood Sport TV, baby, from the